ludicrous speed.
Okay, my dear Greg Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. You're dope.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders.
Greg Saunders!
Wow. Hey, great.
Good. I got it.
We interrupt this sound file to bring you a terrifying announcement.
Are you aware that you're leaking coolant at an alarming rate?
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Well, I'm glad we got all that out in the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Trying to do things last minute here. Hold on. I'm trying to. Tom, you're probably already aware of such a thing, but a potato becomes plural once it's mashed. How you doing? I'm Greg Saunders. He's Tom Warner. It's a Saturday Morning Stateline Show. It is the 28th day of November, the year 2020, the latest it's ever been in the history of mankind.
That is right.
I'm so glad you are awake and Adam and ready to chat. How you doing, Tom?
I am okay. I'm all right. I had a really, really good Thanksgiving. It was a little bit of sensory overload for me, but it was good. We had 20 people. Don't tell Governor Pritzker.
And at least a dozen of them were already immune, right?
Yeah.
You've already gone through the Rona.
Least.
So.
Yep. That's right. That's kind of what it was. That's kind of what it was. So.
Or should I leave it on?
And
is it better on? Should I leave it?
Oh, that's your pilfered hat from Muskego High.
Muskego High School marching band. Those marching warriors.
Muskego High School. Yeah.
Undefeated football season again for 2020.
Can't call them Warriors anymore. Didn't you know?
Oh no, Warriors is just fine.
The name.
Warriors is just fine. They've gotten rid of all of the, there's no more like Indian head logo and stuff. It's a spear and a cool looking M. So it's perfectly fine now, I think. Anyway.
There's my Remy.
What's up, Remy? What's up, little Remy?
I don't think he understands. I'm kind of busy right now.
Now I'm thankful you've adjusted your volume, but you can turn it up a little bit if you want to. If you're able to, go ahead and feel free to turn it up a little bit.
I'll probably have to do that on the maybe there. Maybe that's a little better. I'll probably have to do it on the break.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll be chatting with Corey Neese here shortly. In fact, if he can join us now if he's ready. Let me see if I can ask him to start his video. We are live for the first time on YouTube. We're YouTubing it today, and hopefully for the foreseeable future. And there he is. Look! Oh, I knew he'd be sitting there outside enjoying the Florida weather. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. I'll share this with you. It's a 68-degree morning here in Jacksonville, so we can live with this. So
yeah, and you're in a bird cage.
I am. This is something. I was going to say, I saw Greg wearing that hat when I first logged in, and the first thing I thought of was I was watching The Wizard of Oz the other night. I thought he was one of the Wicked Witch's men marching down the runway there. Look. Exactly. Yep. So no, but this is the bird cage. My wife loves this seat. We get to come out here in the early evenings when it's just starting to cool down. I was out here Thanksgiving putting up Christmas lights and about roasted. So I'm very excited for the Christmas season. It's just hard to get into the feel down here when the weather is still quite warm.
Yeah, what is Christmas in Florida like? I mean, for those of us who I've had 50 plus years of Christmas in the Midwest, I can't fathom 80 degrees on Christmas Day or 65.
It's very, very strange when you try to look at it from the perspective of People put up decorations. There is a station down here that plays Christmas music starting the week before Thanksgiving. So they make an effort to do that. But, you know, there's something missing. And part of that, I think, is the weather. You expect to have colder weather. You expect to have a little snow on the ground. I know when I've been able to come up to Illinois and visit for Christmas in the past, that it's a nice thing to see, a little white snow. And I think that's part of the mystique of Christmas in the Midwest. So.
It is the four seasons. A lot of people, I've had clients literally move back to Northern Illinois after being in Arizona for a couple years or Florida for a couple years. And they're like, yeah, we missed family. And don't get me wrong. We miss our family, but we also miss the four seasons.
Yeah.
So, but you've been down there now for, is it 2 years total, a year and a half?
It'll be 2 years here in January that we've been down here. Yeah, it's quite a different, quite a difference from the Midwest for sure.
Yeah. And
we're at a blistering 27 degrees right now, by the way. So you're at 68. So
yeah, I'd say
41.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now we're supposed to have some very cool weather moving in next week. We'll be in the 50s for a high, which I know would be ideal probably in the Midwest right now, but in the mid 50s is what we're looking at. And then a couple nights we'll be down close to freezing, which down here, everyone will be bundled up in scarves, hats, jackets, long underwear, you name it. It's just something that's another thing I found it very hard to adjust to is people, oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. Really? You know, I'm walking around in short sleeves, you know, and shorts, and they think it's cold. But, you know, I guess when you're down here long enough, that's something that adjusts. So.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're tuning in with us here today. There's some stuff we want to talk about a little bit as far as little reminiscing of what we used to do together back in the day. I'm going to see if let me see if this works here first, but before I didn't get everything I wanted, but see if this works.
Visit Anderson Japanese Gardens for a wonderful firsthand experience of the nature of a Japanese garden. Anderson Japanese Gardens is truly a place of peace and tranquility, where you can take time to relax and reflect on the beauty of nature.
A classic 2002 radio commercial.
The stresses of everyday life, as the garden instills a sense of calm that enables them to find a place for quiet meditation and reflection. Anderson Japanese Gardens is now considered to be one of the premier Japanese gardens outside of Japan.
And that was 18 years ago. It's still awesome.
It is. It is. When I get back, I try to visit there if I can. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. But yeah, that was it doesn't seem like it's been 18 years, but I guess it has been. So
you started, what year did you actually start?
1998. I was doing weekends. In 1998, and I believe I came on board in 2001. So
weekends for a couple years.
Yes.
I was trying Tom and Corey to bring back some of the old names, because when I started around this time in 1990.
Oh wow.
And doing weekends. And I only did weekends for just a few months when the overnight guy said he was hanging up. He was hanging it up. And so when the overnight guy said he was leaving QFL, which really the overnight guy managed both stations.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 90, 91, 92, the overnight person was in charge of being live on 101 FM WQFL, and then monitoring what we called the Beast over on WGSL 91.1 FM. The Beast did not exist anymore when you started, Corey.
Well, you know what's funny? My brother is a broadcast engineer, and when he was first getting started in the late 80s, early 90s, he did some, I guess you'd call it internships up at QFL and GSL. And I can remember he had me come in one night, was able to see the giant reel-to-reel machines that kind of ran WGSL. It was all done reel to reel or by satellite, and because for the most part, that's how they got their programming. When I look back on that now, and I think about all the advances in technology that was back in the early 2000s, it's just amazing to me what is able to be done now in broadcasting. And it's fun memories, definitely.
It was something else. The Radio 91, it wasn't Radio 91 at the time. It was 91.1 FM, WGSL. And the broadcast studio was literally a closet.
Yep.
There was a closet there. You would go in and shut the door to be live on the air. And then the modular home that we called our studios was literally a 3-bedroom home. And so when you walked in the front door, what would be the living room was our reception area and main office. The den was the general manager's office. Bedroom number 1 was the production studio. Bedroom number 2 was a WQFL studio, and bedroom number 3 was a WGSL studio. And obviously there were no beds. This was all equipment. This was a working radio studio. So the back corner, what would have been a bedroom in a normal home, had a closet, a walk-in clothes closet, and that was the on-air studio for WGSL. But the beast was a wall of equipment that included at least 3, maybe 4 reel-to-reel machines.
Yeah.
A cart setup that at least had, I think, 4 cart machines, which are basically 8-track machines back in the day. That's what they looked like. And it also included, I want to say there was probably a cassette tape machine. What else was included in that beast? I mean, there was a programming to program your tones, to start different things. And the machine that ran it was something else. It was all of this wall full of equipment, which now, of course, you can put on a laptop.
It's amazing, like I said, how far technology has come in just a short time. And I can remember they were still making advancements, obviously, when I left the industry. And I'm sure now, you can do all kinds of things anymore. But when you think about where they started from, and I'll take you down memory lane here. When I was probably in, I would say junior high, maybe, or maybe it was even before then, I can remember the WGSL dinner concert. Every night, Ron Teetsword's voice would come on and you'd hear, "Thank you for tuning in for WGSL's dinner concert." And it was instrumental background music for you to enjoy while you were having your evening meal. And back then, that was the cool thing. And I remember finding many CDs when I got older that had that kind of instrumental background music that were probably used during the dinner concert. So fond memories of that. And it's probably one of the things that got me interested in wanting to work up there many years ago. So
I don't have a lot of memories from it because I didn't work with you guys, but I listened all the time. And one of the things I remember, the kids loved them. Night Sounds with Bill Pierce.
Bill Pierce.
Oh yes, Night Sounds.
May he rest in peace. I love Night Sounds. It was like 9:30 at night, something like that. We would play it for the kids, and then they would fall asleep to it, and then I would fall asleep to it. I remember that, and that was the programming on GSO was just phenomenal. I loved it, especially the early morning stuff. Not early morning, after. I forgot the morning. It was Ron and Charmel for a while on GSL, and then it was followed by Dr. Charles Stanley. Then it was Chuck Swindoll. Focus on the Family. I used to listen almost every day because I was working nights at the time, so I could. I that was my radio station of choice, and it wasn't so much QFL. It was GSL. That was the one I really liked.
I think what I really enjoyed about the station when I was there on WGSL is the fact that it gave such balance. It had great music, but it also had the great teaching. And I think that's something that kind of has gone away over time now. Many people now, you can get your programs on a podcast and do it that way. But there are still, those who enjoy, utilizing 30-minute programs in the broadcast industry. It hasn't gone away completely, but it's definitely changed from where it was.
Well, that's a really good point, what you were saying a second ago. It would help keep me grounded. I absolutely, it would. I would listen to it, and then the next program comes on. I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to listen to this one too. I got to listen to this one too. And then Focus on the I got to listen to Focus. I listen to it every day, and it was really good. And it kept me. It doesn't so much just keep you listening to Christian music and Christian programming, but it keeps you out of other bad programming. And Greg and I were talking off the air about social media and how much of an effect it's had on life in general. Well, social media is dangerous in that a lot of people are getting their news from social media. I really wish they'd come back to radio, to good Christian radio, like what we used to have. But it's probably not going to happen anymore because, as you say, everything's a podcast. Everything you can get on this little device right here, which annoys the crap out of me, but oh well.
I find that there are more Christian stations here in the South. You do find a lot more down here. One thing I've always found amazing down here is the billboards when you're driving down. There's a lot of focus on salvation and and Jesus, and you see a lot more of that the further south you go. So the culture down here is still very much a strong Judeo-Christian culture. You get the sense of that. Now, like I said, it's just a difference in the Midwest versus the South, I guess. But I definitely think that you're right. That stations like that, like QFL and GSL were once upon a time, there needs to be more of them. There does. And you need to have that foundation because I think so much anymore we're blasted with so many things that are not truthful on social media. It's just unbelievable how much garbage you get anymore. And so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, if 8 out of 10 people, 80% say, no, that's true. So-and-so did do that. No, it's not true. It doesn't make it true because 8 out of 10 people say it. And then you get this barrage of social media and everything else and the evening news and whatever entity you're listening to. It starts to almost that adage where you tell a lie long enough, you're going to start to believe it. Well, you tell a lie long enough to other people, they're going to start to believe it. And that's kind of what's happening. And that's true. What bothers me the most. I have kids, although my kids are grown now, but now I have my 2 grandkids here right now. They always spend the night with us on Friday night. And we're trying to teach them right from wrong, good from evil. Yeah. And it's a struggle because they're at that age now where they're starting to watch, the video games and the whatever cartoons there are on that are kind of geared for the tech generation. It's tough.
I have a 5-year-old son, and he loves his tablet. And it is a challenge sometimes with that tablet. Now, you can gear it towards children's programming, but there's your idea of children's programming, and there's my idea of children's programming. And some things that I would say are just not appropriate. And so, just trying to make sure he's steered away from that and not going to the stuff that he shouldn't be. It does amaze me to sit there and watch him. Nope, don't want to watch that one. Nope, don't want to watch that one. And he'll flip through it and find what he wants. And his knowledge of technology, I mean, I guess it's true what they say. Your mind's like a sponge at that age. You pick it up quick. But yes, keeping him focused on what's right and what's wrong, it is a challenge. It is a huge challenge for my son. And I work at that every day. Sometimes it's easier than others, but he's learning, and we're trying to make sure that we keep him focused on the right things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I've never been more happy that my kids are all grown now, because the kids right now, especially like in middle school, that are dealing with social media, it's such a challenge to help those kids understand social media is is a lot less important than the 5 or 10 friends you have at your school and your church and your family. Those are the opinions and people that you want to focus on, not this 400 to 1,000 people who are also middle schoolers on social media who are just saying things to get a rise out of people or to just, get noticed. And it's like that's a tough lesson to learn when you're, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I can't imagine, what these poor young folks are going through. And so parents, hang in there. Yeah. I wanted to see if this comes across pretty well. I'll open that up and see if I'll shut that off. Here's some folks you might recall. This is going to be a blurry picture.
Oh my.
But wanted to bring this up real quick. Back in the day, here's the folks that I wish I'd like a picture, maybe just a few years even before this for some of the staff. But this, I believe, was Chuck Alexander's last week of managing the WQFL, WGSL, Christian Communication Network in Rockford. Chuck Alexander is the fine-looking man in the tie in the front. Him and his wife Rigmore served the church at Rockford First for years and years, and he was the what's the term? The perceptual interim general manager
for many years. Yes,
for many years, and probably one of the best bosses that I ever worked for in my life. One of these guys that understood his own limitations and understood that his job was not to do everyone else's job. Working under him for years, seeing him say, okay, you're the programmer. What do you need? How can I help you do your job the best that it can be done? And oh, by the way, you don't have a budget,
Right. Yes.
How can you do this for free or raise money to get it done? And that's only partially true. But in between Chuck and Rigmore there is the wonderful Ron Teetsort, who is still here in Rockford. Next to Chuck there was Ron Oltmans. He was the guy who did overnights for years and years and years and years.
Yes.
Kathy was way over there in the red. I'm next to her. You're over me laughing at something.
Yeah.
Our engineer's John. Next to him, Susan Hollingsworth. Kurt, who I believe is in Florida selling ads still for a Christian radio station.
Yes.
Joel Griffith, who's still in Northern Illinois, working for Slavic Gospel Association, been there for years and years. Above him is Mike, who did sales. I believe he's in the St. Louis area these days. Paul did weekends for years, and I believe he's now in Arizona.
He's actually just south of me.
Okay.
Here in Florida, down in the Daytona area, I believe.
I knew he moved south. So
Paul
Leisure in the weekends. John Miller behind him. He's been in the Northern Illinois area still for years. Chris Carmichael behind him. Mr. Steve, the famous children's entertainer, Mr. Steve, who did the mornings with Mike at the Mic for years. And then Jim, who did sales and promotions for us for years. Missing in this picture, Cindy Swanson. She did not attend this particular meeting for whatever reason. I don't recall. But I wish she was
socially distancing.
Yeah, right.
It's funny to see a picture like this without masks. It's almost, we've conditioned ourselves so badly now that I wear the mask. So wait, it's 20 years ago or whatever it was.
But I want to thank, Brian Wright took that picture. Brian Wright was our consultant for years, and many people old enough might remember him actually being on WQFL radio back in the day.
Late 70s.
Late 70s, early 80s. Yep. And he went on to become a very, very successful radio consultant, works out of Michigan with the Audience Development Group. And he helped me immensely. He helped us so much over the years to really hone in on making great radio and avoiding the stuff that made us really be bogged down in the mire of stuff that shouldn't be on the air. He really taught us a lot about streamlining what we did, making things crisp and clean, and really, really admired him a lot. So anyway, thought that would be a fun thing to bring up real quick to reminisce a little bit with Corey on that.
That's great.
Of course, Mike Schlody, he's in Missouri these days, still doing Christian radio on GraceNet, gracenet.net, I think, gracenet.radio. I forget what it's called, but he also does a great online station called ClassicChristian247.com. For those who really, really love the late 70s and 80s music and some of the 90s, but a lot of 80s Christian music, Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith,
Imperials.
the Imperials, Russ Taff, David Meese, I mean, all that stuff from the back in the 80s. It is a wonderfully produced online radio station that is run by Mike Schlody and Doug Smith, who is our longtime engineer. So ClassicChristian247.com. I can't recommend that enough. If you're looking for some nostalgia, you'll really enjoy that. So the big thing that's missing right now, I think, is locally owned radio stations, not just Christian stations, but all over any genre.
Yes.
I'm still holding out hope that the consolidation era of radio will start to dwindle and more radio stations will be owned locally again.
I think, Corey, you're going to have to move back up here from warm Jacksonville, you know?
Well,
it is.
I'll tell you, Greg, you hit it on the head. I think the fact that so much has been consolidated and so many large groups have taken over, they own, basically most of the stations in one market. I believe down here, there's even several that are owned by one conglomerate. And it's very difficult to get your way into broadcasting. I mean, I was fortunate enough to get in with a local level. I actually started many years ago. I did some part-time stuff for WLUV. Many people who maybe maybe remember Joe Salvi. What a fun time that was. I'll never forget helping him, going out, was watching him bring a Notre Dame basketball game on air. He was bringing that on and playing it off the satellite, and then doing local breaks. And Joe was an original. He had a bedroom set up at the station. He never left there. He had his dog. Yeah, his dog was right there at the station. The
Snowball.
dog. Yeah, you remember Snowball. There you go.
Did you ever have to chase Snowball down?
No, I did not. I watched Joe do it one time, which was funny enough as it was.
I had to chase him down. I worked for Joe for about a year. And like Greg was saying earlier with Q&G doing the dual broadcasting, we did the same thing at LUV because he had the 96.7 before the Eagle had it, and then LUV. And I was on the air doing a radio show, doing my country radio show on LUV AM 1520. And then I had to pop out of there and put breaks in for the hockey game, for the Blackhawks hockey game or the St. Louis Cardinals baseball game, whichever. And it was just miserable while Joe was off at Hardee's or whatever. So it was quite a time. It was quite a time. But then Snowball would get out and Joe would he came in one time and he says, "We got to go get Snowball." And I said, "Joe, I'm on the air. I got to break out." "I don't care. We got to get Snowball." Because if Snowball gets away and the animal control picks her up, it's a $150 fine for him. So he didn't care. I put on a long album or something. Those were the days. By the way, not to put a damper on anything, but I don't know if you knew, Joe passed away about a year ago.
I did hear that. It was sad to hear that, but the thing was, Joe did it his way. He owned, like you said, 2 stations for many years there. Sold off the FM and was still doing some stuff on the AM. He did it his own way. Was it always the most professional broadcast? Probably not. But he gave
statement of the year.
but he gave me the opportunity to get my start. I announced football games for him and was able to hang out at the station and learn a few things before I ended up going over to GSL years later. And it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm grateful. I bet you there's more than just you and I talking that have had that experience.
Oh yeah. So many of the guys I work with are okay now. We're all LUV alums. I did basketball games for him as well, and him and I, we had a good run. About nine or 10 months. Then I moved over to ROK. I started there in '92 and went over to ROK in '94. So about a year, maybe just under a year.
When we had
Anyway.
our hot streak here of 60s and 70-degree weather in was it beginning of November?
It was November.
We had that whole week of
November,
like 8 days or so of 70-degree weather. I did some work outside one of those days for a long day of work, some landscaping stuff, and I put on WLUV, which has an FM signal now.
Yes, 105.3.
105.3 on the FM dial. So I was listening to the old best of the 60s and 70s on LUV, and I was like, this is awesome. This is great. So
our old engineer, John Huntley from Town Square, is now the engineer over there.
Is he? Okay.
He does it part-time. He does it because he just loves it. And I saw him at a Portillo's not long ago, and we had a really good talk about it. And he kind of told me a few things. It was Joe's niece who took over the station.
Oh, wow.
Because he had no kids. And so his niece took it over, and she's now making some changes, and they're doing 60s and 70s. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good, except it's very choppy. They don't have any commercials, really. I mean, they might have one or two commercials here and there, a lot of PSAs, but they'll play a half an hour's worth of music, and then they'll do 4 or 5 PSAs and then come back and do more music. And I really like that. If I'm mowing the lawn, or if I'm cleaning the house or whatever, pop the headsets on and listen.
Well, hey, we could go on for hours, guys, but we'll have Joann waiting in the wings to bring us our pause pet of the week and everything else. So before we let you go, Corey, I know you wanted to plug something real quick happening here in Rockford.
Well, we were just talking about, the importance of building our kids and their future, and something that's still on my heart to this day. I'm an alumnus of North Love Christian School. They have been in Rockford now for over close to 50 years. And they are facing many challenges, as many are right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. They have obviously tuition that covers a large amount of the costs there at the school, but they also need to do additional fundraising to help balance out their budget. And a lot of their other traditional fundraising methods have been cut short because of COVID-19. There's not ways to do certain things that they normally would do because of the restrictions that are currently in place. So coming up on Tuesday, December 1st, they're going to have a day of giving. And if you're an alumnus of North Love Christian School, if you believe in Christian education, if you believe in it's important to keep that alive in the Rockford area, I would encourage you to go on to North Love Christian School's Facebook page. You can make a contribution on Tuesday. Again, it's a day of giving, a day of thanks. The school website, if you're curious about North Love, northlovechristianschool.com, or you can call the school office. I'll give that number real quick. It's 815-209-2634. And I just ask you to really consider what North Love Christian School means to the community. If you believe in keeping your kids grounded in a solid foundation, and maybe you have a church that you attend regular, but you are looking for a private school, that may be something that you would consider with your children. I know that Tony Cataliso is the principal there. He's done a wonderful job for many years. It's a great group of teachers that are working kindergarten through 12th grade. And I would just ask you to consider reaching out. Again, North Love Christian School on Facebook is where you can make a monetary gift if you're interested. But I encourage you to find out more about it. And if you are an alumnus of North Love, or if your kids have been an alum of North Love, would you consider making a contribution to help them during this difficult time through the pandemic?
Have they given you any indication of potentially playing basketball in the spring?
I wish. North Love has followed the IHSA guidelines, and at this time the season is basically suspended. Yeah. Trying to figure out what they're going to do. I know their initial plan was to move all of the fall sports to the spring, And so volleyball would obviously be moved into the springtime. Now it's, well, how do you figure out what's going to happen with the basketball? North Love's had a tradition of great basketball teams in the Illinois Association of Christian Schools, 3 state boys state championships. I've enjoyed being able to back my former school's team. I really enjoy that. But it doesn't look like anything is in the works at this time. Hopefully we can see a turning the corner type situation. But I'm under the impression that it's probably not going to be until April before we're going to see a whole lot happening. And Greg, I know you're in a hurry here, but I'll mention real quickly. We talked briefly yesterday regarding the differences between Florida and Illinois. Mm-hmm. And there's such huge differences. My wife and I, back in early October, went to go to Walmart one night, and we were driving back, and we were like, man, that restaurant is packed. Man, that bowling alley is busy. And yes, there are far less restrictions in Florida. Now, Florida has seen an increase in cases. It's difficult to keep the case level down. I think you're going to continue to see spikes going up and down with this. I don't see it changing until a vaccine is released and that we can get more people vaccinated. But hopefully we can see a corner being turned here at some point. The kids need to get back to normal. They definitely need a structure like we talked about, and it's not healthy to do this. So just something, from an insight from down here in Florida. I hope that things get a little more back to normal in Illinois soon. And I appreciate you having me on to reminisce a little bit and to give a little plug for the school there at North Love. I really do appreciate it, Greg.
You bet.
Here's your governor.
Open. Here's the governor.
We'll trade, straight up trade.
No, well, his family's down here anyhow, so
I know.
Our governor and the Bears, and you can bring up the Jaguars and their governor, and we'll be good to go.
Oh yeah,
okay.
You don't want the Jaguars. You don't want the Jaguars.
No, probably not. But are you a Jaguars fan now, or what was your team?
No, I'm still a diehard Bear fan, and this coming Sunday, I plan on watching them beat the Packers. And
no.
So it's probably just me, preparing myself in advance for the slaughter that's going to take place. But you got to remain positive while you can. So, but no, I have watched the Jaguars. It is fun. The Robinson boy is playing here in Jacksonville. It's really exciting to see. He played against my stepson when my stepson was playing football at Byron.
Yeah.
And he was at Lutheran. So yeah, it's kind of neat to see Allen Robinson. And I do hope that you guys will get a chance to see him. I think the Bears play the Jaguars here later in December. So
yeah, we covered James Robinson a number of times, as we did with Dean Lowry as well, because with ROK I was a remote tech, so I would set up remotes, and then I would be a stringer as well. These are my grandsons, by the way, Dominic and Ben.
Those look familiar.
And what is this, Hulk, the Green Hulk guy? Anyway, so James Robinson, we said back then, we're on the sidelines going, this guy is probably going to get a shot, at least at the NFL. Not only did he get a shot at the NFL, he's also doing quite well. He might be Rookie of the Year.
I believe I called him Alan. I apologize, James. It's James Robinson, right? Yeah, he's just an incredible athlete, and it's fun to watch him. And would love to be able to say hello to him and say, "Hey, I remember you when you played at Lutheran." Just the incredible amount of talent. Because I remember back then, it was like, "Well, this guy's going to have a shot." Then when he didn't get drafted, I was kind of surprised, but I figured his size played a factor.
Right. He was good in college, but he wasn't as excellent. I mean, in high school, he walked over everybody. It was not even fair. But in college, he met his competition, but he did okay.
Well, the knock against him in college is that he was at a Division I-A school, Illinois State. He still did quite well for that, but would he have done well at an Ohio State or Penn State, or would he have been a backup or whatever? But he's kind of proven himself now in the NFL. Yeah. He's a big boy. I mean, he's 5'9", but he's buff.
Give him some blocking, he'll break a tackle.
He I think I saw one stat. He's got the most yards ever by an undrafted rookie. Most yards ever by an undrafted rookie. That's saying something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's somebody. Go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say he's just so solid of an athlete.
Yes,
you look at his legs, and no wonder he can continue to push forward. I mean, he's built like a small truck. He's solid.
Yeah, and it's his work ethic. I think that's what's done that. And one other thing, and I know we got to go here, but a guy named Fred Van Vliet, who just signed an $85 million contract with Toronto, the largest contract ever by a non-drafted player. He was non-drafted. And he essentially went to Toronto, and they picked him up, put him in their training camp in the D League and whatever. $85 million.
And James Robinson may be the next one to sign that big deal. Who knows?
That boy healthy, and he'll be next. That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, Corey,
gentlemen, thank you so much.
We'll probably have to have you on again in the near future and do a little further reminiscing. But keep warm there in Florida.
I say next Saturday, and then we can talk about the Bear-Packer game.
I'm okay with that. Depending on the outcome, I'm okay with that.
Exactly. Yes.
How that goes. All right, buddy. We'll keep in touch and take care of everything down there. Say hi to your wife and son.
Thank you, Tom. Greg, take care.
All right.
Good
There
talking
goes
to you.
Corey Neese from Florida, and we're just going to jump right into Joann if she's ready, because we're way past what we normally do.
Good conversation, though.
It was fun. Hey, Joann. We'll save the bottom of the hour updates for the top at the end of the show today, and we'll end the show with our info of the week, which is a lot of really fun info to share. I want you to stick around for it. We've got information about Cholula. Have either one of you used hot sauce? Cholula.
I don't like hot sauce at all.
What about you, Joann? Are you a hot sauce gal?
I have some in the refrigerator.
Right? We all do, right?
Yeah.
I have bulk amounts of it around here because my wife loves this stuff. Frank's red sauce, the red hot sauce, the Cholula stuff, whatever, all that stuff is here. So there's some news about that coming up. Stuff about Black Friday.
We're not hearing about it now.
We'll hear about it at the end of the show today.
All right.
So longer than normal with Corey. And who knows, maybe this will set a new precedent now that we're on YouTube. Maybe we'll do it this way every time. I don't know. Well, we can change things up. We're not stuck to something format on the radio, so we can do whatever we want.
That's right. Big number.
I do want to say hi real quick this morning to Laker Fan 1, whoever you are. Thanks for subscribing. Please like and subscribe. Now that we're on YouTube, we got to say this stuff, Tom. Like and subscribe. Please hit that button. We have started out at 0. Okay.
Is this no longer Zoom? Is that why I had trouble getting on?
No, we're still on Zoom. We're still using the Zoom platform, but now we're going to YouTube instead of Facebook.
It took me more time to get on than the time I'm going to be on, if that makes sense.
Well,
It took me longer to get on than how long I would be on.
When I did see you were trying to get in the room, I did admit you as soon as I saw it, but it might have because I was so distracted with our conversation with Corey Neese there in Florida. So that might be it.
See how I rank.
Yeah.
Before we get into our pet of the week, I want to rub it in just a little bit. I've got one of these going this morning. The famous Dita Bomb.
It doesn't look as delicious as it probably tastes.
The cinnamon.
Now it looks better.
The cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
Made by my.
I thought he had found something in his yard.
No. the cinnamon rolls that
I thought it was stuffing.
Yeah, no, cinnamon rolls are amazing. It's already cooled off down here in the cool basement.
Unless you're going to share with the rest of the class.
I was thinking the same thing, Tom.
Yeah,
kind of the teacher voice. If you don't have enough for everyone, just throw it away.
If I get out of the house, you might find a little bit of a package of these at your front door at some point this weekend.
That's how we did Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
We did a round robin, but I think I was kind of a nice way because I found out the people at the end of I was one of the first ones. They dropped food off and then they picked up food as they went around.
Okay.
So I missed out on dessert.
Wow.
one of the later people had dessert, but we did it in a safe way.
I won't make promises that I can't keep, so I'm not going to promise.
Yeah, please
anything,
don't.
But I'm just going to throw it out there as a possibility. So, anywho, I'm gonna. If you want to give us a quickie tour around, I'll prepare our post.
What about the big number?
Oh, want to do the big number first? Let's do the big number first.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get this ready to hear. Big number, drum roll, please.
Because we need a lot of time to think.
So yeah, we do have a big number of the week this week. Sorry, Corey, you didn't get to participate. Big number of the week this week is 40 million.
40 million.
40 million. This week's answer is truthers or turkeys. Truthers or turkeys. Big number of the week, 40 million. We'll give you the answer here at the end of the show. And yeah, let's take things over to Joann and the pause humane society.
I just wanted to show, I brought my bunnies today because someone's coming to look at them. This is
bunnies.
Myers and Corbin. They are mini lops. They are big bunnies, but they're mini lops. And that has something to do with the how long their ears are, because I guess lop-eared bunnies have much longer ears. If anyone's interested in bunnies, we also have 2 other bunnies that have just come in, and you can see their pictures on our Facebook page. But these are Corbin and Myers.
Myers.
And
isn't that they make headache medicine, right?
Myers?
Corbin and Myers.
Oh, I would, my thing would be, I would like to name them like Tom and Jerry.
Or Tom and Greg.
Yeah, I just,
not quite as
I like
fancy as Tom and
names
Jerry,
that,
but
I don't
close.
know what those names have to do. One of our volunteers. Here's our cats. This week, as I walk up to it, it looks like gray cats or muted gray cats.
Hiding gray cats.
You only like black cats, Tom.
I do.
This is Dash.
No, I like all cats.
Dashi. Yeah, I got right in the middle of the volunteers. This is our kitten cat of the week. She's like, where's my food?
Hello.
She's already been fed, but they always like a little more. Her name is Clarice, that Rudolph's girlfriend. Should I even know that? Isn't that Clarice?
Don't be afraid of Clarice. She's fine.
There's a movie where Rudolph has a girlfriend,
Wow.
and her name is Clarice.
Silence of the Lambs ruined Clarice for me.
I know, right?
This is, they were talking about how cats don't know that they're disabled. This is a one-eyed Pete. He had an infection in his eye, and his eye had to be removed. He's really not one-eyed Pete. I shouldn't call him, make up names.
Well, I think it was cute.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
Call him Cyclops.
Makes him memorable.
Cyclops, but he's a very friendly little boy. And there's his roommate. And here's some, they aren't as hungry as the rest, they're just chilling out. Okay, and here's, my goodness, everyone's kind of chilling out today.
Wow.
They saw me coming.
Yeah. I think you got more food, refills.
They're always looking for more. Not as many in this room. Oh, an orange kitty.
It's not Amber, is it? No.
No, you want Amber is over here.
Amber's in her own cage.
Yeah,
There's my Amber.
she's eating breakfast. We kind of have wanted Amber last week. We talked about getting Amber adopted by Thanksgiving. Now we're going to have to go for Christmas. This one that says she's adopted. Benny. It says I'm adopted. Please bring home one of my friends. Please bring one of my friends home. So sometimes we don't know till the next week when we come in and we're like, where'd so-and-so go? We always hope they were adopted. This is Vivian. We have about 5 to 6 cats adopted every week. I think that's the number.
That's good.
Saturdays are our busy days. This is Macy. I know you can see me in the giggy.
Now that we're past Black Friday, it should be Adopt a Cat Saturday or something, right? So, small business
And
Saturday and Adopt a Cat.
next Saturday we're doing a Santa thing at Village Green.
Photos with Santa. Yeah.
And I will be there in my famous Mrs. Claus outfit if you want to see me in person.
Village Green next Saturday.
The one in Love's
The one
Park.
on Riverside?
Is that Rivers? Not the big one.
It is. Well, there's one on Riverside and then there's one on Main Street, North Main.
It's Main Street, North Main. I was going to say by Northtown, but there's no Northtown anymore.
North of the Olympic.
Well, it's still Northtown. There's just,
Yeah, but it's like
not
11
really
to
the same.
3. You need to be masked. They're not taking pictures with people, just with pets. So if you are dying to get your picture with the animals, they're asking for Santa's safety, just having the dogs.
Yeah.
And everyone there will be masked, and we ask that you wear your mask. So 11 to 3, and it's benefiting Paws. So come on out.
I think
not far from my house.
No, it's pretty close to you. I think I might have shared that event on the Facebook page already, but
Thank you.
Look that up on Paws, of course. Paws Humane Society Rockford, and share, like and share, please. Thank you. All right. So
I think I'm not sure when Giving Tuesday is. Is that over already?
This Tuesday, traditionally, yes, after Cyber Monday, after all the shopping's done from Black Friday through the weekend to Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday is this Tuesday. And this year, gosh, more than ever, there's a lot of not-for-profits that need our help. So if
not-for-profits don't get the donations that they do during a normal time. So some of them might not make it through this COVID stuff, and it's we're hurting.
Yeah.
You know, our adoptions alone cannot sustain us. So
and
we put a lot of money into our animals, and the adoption fee does not recomp that.
Has the fur ball already kind of been canceled for the
fur ball has been canceled, but we're doing an art auction.
Okay.
So what we are planning to do is doing an online art auction.
Cool.
So I'm not quite sure how I'm not in charge of that, but we're collecting kind of the same thing we did for the silent auction, but it will be an online, I suppose, Facebook maybe. I've seen them before where they picture the item and then you can bid on it.
And those can go both ways. Some of these are immensely successful, better than they've ever done with live events, and some have not gone well at all. So
I think we're having live auction for a certain time, but we're also having like items that you can bid on too. So, but I haven't seen it all together. We're still working on that. It's a couple of months away yet, but it's kind of sad because Furball is our big fundraiser.
Right. So if you can give, even whether you're buying something on an auction or not, this is a really good time to do that. Help Paws Humane Society stay open and active and doing what they do. And whatever your favorite not-for-profit is, they need your help more than ever this season.
Yes.
Please.
I'm not just saying Paws because I'm wearing the Paws logo, but
Right. And on this show, you've heard us talk a lot about Rock House Kids, Mosaic. We've talked a little bit about One Body Collaboratives and what they do to help not-for-profits. We had the Northern Illinois, we had Dan Ross on just a couple weeks ago talking about what they do to help not-for-profits too with the Northern Illinois, what is it called? It escapes me at the moment, but his video is in the stream here from on the Facebook page. It's a need. There's a lot of needs. So please dig deep a little deeper this year and help out the not-for-profits if you are able to do that. So, all right. At the end of the show today, besides our normal bottom of the hour info, we're going to share that at the end of the show. We've got some other random audio to share at the end of the show as well. So stick around for that. A couple more classic commercials from the QFL GSL days that Corey will get a kick out of. So, this is as much for me and Corey as it is for anybody else. So let's go ahead and do our big number final thing here for the live stuff. Big number of the week this week is 40 million. So far, we've got Tom and Joann tied at 1-1. I can't.
Yay!
Oh, that shows up good. 1-1. Okay, the answer this week: truthers or turkey? In 3, 2, 1, go.
Truthers.
They both went with the truthers.
We could either both win or both lose.
I've got nobody in the comment stream. We're still going to build up the YouTube audience, so I'm not worried about that today. Anybody else in the Facebook comments? Saturday morning Stateline show. People just still catching up to the fact that we're going on YouTube instead of Facebook Live. Okay, there we go. So, all right. So our two stories this week. You'll need to know that more than half of all turkeys sold over the course of the year will be eaten this week. According to The Economist, Americans eat about 40 million turkeys during Thanksgiving. The answer this week is turkeys. Womp, 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 womp.
Wait a minute.
40 million turkeys. The truther's story. Sorry, kids. Yeah, the truth.
You did it backwards. You fooled us.
I know. He messed us up.
I switched it up on you this week. No points for you.
Can I change my answer?
Quick, change your
Can
answer.
we'll reverse our answer then.
Have either one of you heard the name Andrew Callahan or Callaghan?
Culligan?
The show he does is called All Gas, No Brakes. Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
All Gas, No Brakes is the name of his show. It's a podcast. It's on YouTube, I believe. He wears an ill-fitting suit. He's about 23 years old, has curly hair, and over the last year or so, he's traveled all over the place, poking a microphone into the subcultures of America. All Gas, No Brakes is the name of the show. He's talked to the Proud Boys, the Flat Earthers, the Alien Truthers, porn stars.
I can tell Tom's no longer interested because he didn't win.
He said he didn't win. Bigfoot hunters. He's been to the Border Security Expos and Burning Man, which looks amazing. He basically just lets people speak. No judgment, no interjection. Lets them says things in their own words. It's kind of like a Joe Rogan experience, only traveling, and he's not as smart as Joe. He launched in August of last year. He's got over 3 million fans on Instagram and YouTube. He's getting a little help now from Doing Things Media, DTM. They're a digital media company that runs a network of over 25 brands. They've got an audience of over 60 million subscribers across all these platforms. But if you get a chance, and it might be at times a little bit rated R, because he just lets people say whatever they want to say. The show is called All Gas, No Brakes. You're bound to hear some interesting stuff. A lot of it, which is just from the people who believe what they believe and wherever they are. and you'll probably get a kick out of that. So there you go. Sorry, no winners this week, but thanks for trying as always.
Oh well.
Oh well.
What's Bill's joke?
Oh, the Bills show. Thank you. What would I do without you guys?
Yeah, we run the show. It's almost.
I forget. I've got it written down in front of me, and I still didn't remember. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, our dad joke of the week from our good buddy Bill. Tom and Joanne, do you know what the difference is between a hippo and a zippo?
The beginning letter.
The difference between a hippo and a zippo.
I know the answer.
One is heavy and the other's a little lighter. Thank you, Bill. So, stick around. We've got some end of the show info coming your way and a couple of vintage commercials from nearly 20 years ago to play in honor of our good buddy Corey. I think I might have voiced one or two of these, but anyway.
I have to go because I have an adoption at 9:00. Hopefully, well, awesome. Corbin and Myers will go to new homes today. So, but thank you.
Thank you for all you do, Joanne.
Bye, Joanne.
Bye.
Later, Tom. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday. Remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone today. We'll try to do the same. Looking silly. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless. Good day. It's the 28th day of November, the year 2020, the latest it's ever been in the history of mankind. I'm Greg Saunders, and here is this week's SMS info. If I were to come to your house and steal what's on the top of your fridge, what would I be getting? What's on the top of my fridge? I'll tell you coming up. The Festival of Lights started last night. Mississippi Park is the place to experience the city's annual Festival of Lights, a Christmas staple here in the Forest City. Here's an event that always has been socially distanced. 70 light displays set up throughout the park to view from the safe, cozy confines of your car. The event is free, it always has been, so drive through as many times as you like. There is a drive-up donation station midway through the route if you'd like to give a donation. You're free to do that. Displays will be lit up from 5 to 11 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. The nightly from December 18th through the 23rd, and then all 24 hours of Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day up until midnight. The final day of the events, 5 to 11 p.m. on December 31st. Rock House Kids in Rockford says a big thank you to the friends at Bombas for 1,000 pairs of socks. Their kids remember them from last year and are super excited to receive them again this year. Buy a pair, donate a pair. Thank you, Bombas. Peck Playhouse Theater has been cleaning out the theater, and they're inviting you to grab anything that interests you at their, well, I guess they're calling it a rummage sale. You're free to look and take what you'd like and leave a monetary donation in exchange if you can. Tables will be outside the theater starting at 10 a.m. going through till 2 today, Saturday, November 28th, and outside at the Peck Playhouse Theater downtown Pecatonica. You can support our local artists this holiday season and shop for art online on Sunday, November 29th, what they're calling Artists Sunday. The Sunday after Thanksgiving, you can give unique artist-created gifts this year. Find your favorite artists and discover new craftspeople by going to artistssunday.com and then type in Rockford in the directory search box, and you'll find some local artists there. One fun way to find a Christmas tree is to cut your own in a national forest. People can purchase Christmas tree permits through recreation.gov/tree-permits. That was kind of long. I'll say it again. recreation.gov/tree-permits. that allows you to go to the listed national forest of your choosing and chop down your own tree. The permits help maintain the forest's overall health by thinning out the densely populated stands of small diameter trees. Not only is the practice environmentally conscious, but the trees are also affordable. J&D's Foods, makers of bacon salt, has the perfect holiday gift for the bacon lover in your family: bacon scented underwear. From the press release, it says, featuring state-of-the-art moisture-wicking scent emission technology stolen from NASA, we've embodied the smell of everyone's favorite smell into the fabric of your pants. This intoxicating scent will last through multiple wash cycles and wearings. You can buy bacon-scented underwear for women and men through J&D's Foods website. Okay, the perfect work-rest ratio. There are benefits to taking work breaks. Your body and mind benefit from these breaks, which keep you energized so that you may tackle the rest of your day. What's the perfect work-rest ratio? Well, an app called Desk Time monitored employees' computer use and found the most productive 10%. They worked hard for 52 minutes and then took a break for about 17. So it's backed by science, pointing to the natural rhythms of attention span. Our brain can focus for up to about 90 minutes, but then needs roughly 20 minutes of rest. So yeah, your best work to rest ratio looks like 52 minutes working, 17 minutes take a break. Thanksgiving, of course, the traditional day and to count your blessings. For some of us, it's also a day to set the house on fire. There are more home fires on Thanksgiving than any other day of the year. Fire departments responding to triple the normal number of incidents. I hope your Thanksgiving was safe and smoke-free. According to the National Fire Protection Association, most of these fires originate from the kitchen, from clumsy or inattentive cooks. Here's a bunch of randoms for you this week. eMarketer estimates that Black Friday and Cyber Monday this year will bring in $23 billion. They're expecting a 38% jump from last year. 52% of pet owners plan to buy their animals a holiday gift. E-commerce platform Wish is going public. Snapchat released its TikTok copycat product. It's called Spotlight. I haven't looked at it yet. A clinical trial of 35 adults using oxygen therapy to reverse two key indicators of biological aging. Oxygen therapy. Now, there's something I would try. A sommelier compared 11 wines from Costco, Target, Trader Joe's, and BJ's, and the winner was Target. Have you heard of McCormick, the $24 billion condiments giant? Well, they own Old Bay seasoning. They own Frank's Red Hot sauce. They have now acquired Cholula from the El Cateran Company for $800 million, but that's nothing. Penguin Random House will acquire Simon & Schuster from Viacom CBS for $2.2 billion. The combined book publishing entity will account for 1 out of every 3 books sold in the United States. And finally, the Dow crossed a huge threshold this last week, 30,000 points, just less than 4 years after it eclipsed the 20,000 point mark. Amazing. All right. Did you guess? Did you tell me in the comments? Let me know. If I were to come to your house and steal what's on top of your fridge, what would I be getting? In my house, you would be getting cereal and chips. Enjoy. Hey, how about a quick look at our forecast? It's going to be a beautiful day. Sunshiny throughout the state line today, getting up to about 52 degrees. Should be really, really sunny. In fact, there's really no rain in the forecast for the next week. Maybe next weekend we'll get some snow showers, but more sun than clouds looks like here for the rest of this weekend and throughout the week. 46 for a high tomorrow, 35 on Monday, 37 Tuesday, and in the lower 40s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lots more sun than clouds. Enjoy your wonderful week.
You're invited to a day filled with music and ministry this Sunday at North Love Baptist Church as we welcome evangelist Steve Piggott. For over 20 years, Brother Piggott has traveled across North America, informing, encouraging, and challenging people to change their lives through Christ. His use of humor and animation commands attention from the youngest to the oldest. Joining Brother Piggott will be soloist Bobby Finch. The Manor Restaurant and Banquet Center in Beloit is the area's finest and most elegant dinner house. The stately mansion is available for weddings and receptions, rehearsal dinners, banquets for all occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, retirement parties, church meetings, bereavement luncheons, charitable fundraising dinners, bus tour groups, private auctions, bar mitzvahs, school events, proms, graduation parties, office parties, Christmas and New Year's celebrations, and more. Best Suites of Rockford on Walton Street is changing the sheets. Beginning May 14th, Rockford will welcome Quality Suites. With the name change, Quality Suites will be offering choice privileges with a frequent stay program and will allow frequent flyer miles with qualified stays. With numerous upgrades, including a hot breakfast buffet and Rockford Peoria bus service to and from O'Hare, Quality Suites is your home away from home. Make your reservations by calling 227-
At Vaughn's Home Furnishings on Auburn Street in Rockford, they promise a lot and deliver more. With a wide selection of TVs, VCRs, DVDs, stereos, sofas, love seats, coffee tables, refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and so much more. Need more furniture for those cookouts? A bigger stereo for your home? A big screen TV? Check out Vaughn's Home Furnishings on Auburn Street across from Amarok. Call 964-3308. Get a lot more with Vaughn's Home Furnishings. When it comes to car repairs and maintenance, it's important to find a center that is concerned more about your safety than their price tag. Stop driving all over town and rely on Vittori's. Vittori's Napa Auto Care Center in Roscoe has been servicing all makes and models of automobiles for over 26 years. If you're in need of auto repair, then Vittori's Napa Auto Care Center is the place to go. They use nothing but the best equipment to service and maintain your vehicle to keep it running at its best. Stop in and purchase their Auto Care Club card for only $20 and receive 1 free oil change, 10% off any service or repair, a free tire rotation, 1 free vehicle inspection, and 1 free battery and alternator check.
At Gray's IGA, we know you like family, with friendly service, fast checkout, and prices to fit your budget, and everyday low pricing. Gray's IGA stores, locally owned and operated, with 5 convenient locations: Auburn Street, Sandy Hollow Road, North Alpine, and Broadway in Rockford, and on North 2nd Street in Loves Park. Gray's IGA, where family values are a way of life. Join us at our North 2nd Street location for special savings this Thursday, May 23rd, during the 101 QFL Hometown Pride broadcast in Loves Park.